This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Laurel McHargue. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing just great, Angel, and thank you for having me on your show.
Well, definitely a pleasure. Well, do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Leadville, Colorado. It sits at 10,200 feet above sea level. And it's kind of hard to breathe here.
It is, right? Like, I was there for a bit, and everyone kept saying, hey, okay, when you guys get to Colorado, you have to drink a lot of water, right? Like, keep on getting in water. And I was like,
yes,
how bad could it be? Oh, it's a little hill, And then I get there, and I realized, oh my, like, yeah, you felt it. The air is thin up there.
It is, and we've lived here 12 years, and I still get winded climbing up my stairs. Wow. It's embarrassing to say that, but it's true.
That's amazing. Well, I guess when you move to other places, you can run marathons, right?
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely, literally true. I could run you to the end of the world and not feel it for at least a day.
Yeah,
and then
you would adjust. Yeah.
And then you lose it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow, love it. Well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at a specific time in history.
Well, you and I are both storytellers and podcasters, so I guess you discovered that we have mutual interests.
Well, podcaster, family podcaster means the same to me. Tell us about your podcast, please.
It's called Alligator Preserves. And kind of a strange title, but it had to do with my husband was working down, helping with Hurricane Irma down in Florida. And I was very concerned that he was among possibly loose alligators down there because of the flooding and all that. And he called home one evening, and I asked him if he had seen any alligators, and he said no, but he's passed lots of alligator preserves. And our oldest son, Nick, who loves puns and plays on words, said, ooh, those are the scariest kind of jams ever. So it's just a play on words, but I thought, what a great title for a storytelling podcast.
Yeah,
so there you have it.
It definitely ropes you in, doesn't it? I love it. So tell me, sure, go ahead, sorry.
And I was going to say, and I ask people that I interview on it at the end, I ask them what kind of preserves they spread on their toast in the morning, and I get some interesting answers.
What's the most interesting answer you've heard so far?
Well, let me think. Boysenberry, I think, was the most interesting, which I've never had a boysenberry, and so perhaps I should
know what
that.
That is.
I don't either. I kind of hope someone would say schnozzelberry from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory one of these days.
Yeah. So you've jumped into podcasting. How long have you been podcasting for?
It's been just about a year this week, so not that long.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
A year is long, my friend. There are people that usually start in pod fade. That's the term, right? They pod fade. They last like 3 episodes or 7 episodes, and then they die. That's wonderful.
Ah, no, I'm keeping it up. I'm trying to do 3 per month plus a unique short story that I write and narrate each month. I've got 10 short stories already.
Well, that's wonderful. Where can we find out more about these?
Oh, on Alligator Preserves podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Oh, I also have a website, and I post episodes there too.
What's the website?
It's leadvillelaurel.com.
Oh, I love your names. You just keep playing with these things.
I had to, my name's Laurel, Leadville, the alliteration, I just couldn't not use it.
I love it. Well, do tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Well, I would have to say it started in 1981 when I was absolutely miserable in my second year at the United States Military Academy at West Point. I honestly was questioning whether I'd be able to finish and graduate from the academy. And it dawned on me one morning that if I changed my perception and tried to find something positive And every single day, regardless of the day, I could make it through. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head one Saturday morning. It's just like, wow, it's so easy to see negative things and to focus on those. But if you really force yourself to find something good in the day, then, you can make it through the day.
That's powerful. So you were around what age when you got this?
I was 19, I guess.
Wow, how has life been?
This was a while ago.
Yeah, how does life look? I mean, even now, do you still apply that principle?
I absolutely do. Sometimes I forget, and when you have a really bleak day, it's difficult to do that sometimes. But to remind myself, okay, what is it that's good in this day? Is there a daffodil trying to poke through the snow? Is there a butterfly passing as you're struggling up a hill trying to breathe in Leadville? Look at your hands, even if they're arthritic. Be grateful for what they've done for you, and realize what you have and what you may have already accomplished. If you can do those things, if you can find even the smallest positive thing in your day, then even the bleakest days will have a touch of hopefulness.
Love it. Amazing audience. Again, you're hearing it live from Laurel McHargue. Laurel
McHargue.
McHargue. I'm like, I was actually.
It's hard to say.
No, I was going to say, Laurel, could you say that for me, please?
McHargue.
McHargue. So, Laurel,
Irish pirate.
Again, is the podcast host of Alligator Preserves, and you can connect with her at leadvillelaurel.com. Laurel, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Laurel.
Oh, thank you. I need that right now.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
You know what? I was thinking about this. I have several early childhood memories, but I think the earliest was probably being in a sink at my grandma and grandpa's. I was staying over there, probably because my mother was having my baby sister or something, but I was in the sink and water was running and there were sirens outside. And my grandmother left me in the sink with the water running to go see what was happening outside. And I couldn't have been more than about 2, I think. But I remember it because I remember feeling scared that the water was going to run over the sink and I would get in trouble. But I was also wanting to know what was going on outside because obviously it was something very exciting.
How old were you?
I couldn't have been more than 2.
You said that.
But I also, I also remember probably when I was about 3, rescuing my baby sister from a ghost. We were three girls in a bedroom, and my baby sister was less than 1, I believe, so I must have been about 3. And I remember waking up at night and seeing something under her crib, and to me it looked like a ghost. I got out of bed. I actually got out of bed and crawled under the crib. It ended up being a blanket that had just, was hanging from the side of the bed. But I thought it was a ghost, and I had to rescue my baby sister.
Why do you think these memories are so clear?
Maybe because I have a very strong imagination. I have always had quite a strong imagination. I dream in Technicolor, and I don't know. I guess they just grab something inside me deeply, like the fear of maybe being washed out of the sink. And again, the idea that there was a ghost. That's frightening. Frightening things stick with you.
Yeah, definitely. Did you connect what was going on outside? What was the reason for the siren at any point in your life? Or that just remains a mystery?
It remains a mystery. No idea.
Forever, ever, right? Forever, ever. All right. Intriguing. I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by the way your mind connects stories, because it's really intriguing that you would have the oversight of everything that's happening while being in the sink, that there is something that's happening. That's really intriguing. You must be a great storyteller.
Well, I like to think I am. I'm just, as we speak, finishing up my 3rd novel. I'm finishing up a trilogy called Waterwight, and it started with a dream. It actually started with a dream of me running away from bad guys and then flying over a big body of water and then falling halfway across. And a flying frog came out of nowhere and told me to grab hold. And I grabbed hold of this frog's leg and he got me to the other side and then died in my arms. And the dream went on, but a good friend of mine said, "Oh my gosh, you have to write a story about that." And so I'm on book 3 right now.
Wow. Well, let me pick up book 1, all right? Direct me to that, please. Yeah. I haven't
Come to Leadville. I'll personalize one for you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll get one and then bring it, right? So that I can at least start reading quickly. But yeah, it's intriguing. Like, I haven't done much fictional books, so it would be really cool to get into that, especially someone I can call and say, "What are you writing here? What was this? Please explain it to me, Laurel." How does that sound?
I would love that. Sounds great. I would love to talk to you about it.
Wonderful. I'll definitely dive into that. Thanks for sharing that. Well, Laurel, if we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
You know, I actually had to go back and look up what was popular back then because that was a long time ago. I just turned 60 last month. And so I was trying to think of what did I like when I was a scrawny, pimply 12-year-old. And really, I love the love songs, but like the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations, and, God only knows where I'd be without you. And the Monkees. Oh my gosh, Davy Jones from the Monkees, the littlest monkey. Yes. I just loved him. So all of their songs. Daydream Believer was a favorite one. Oh, I'm just now realizing. Daydream Believer. That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. Definitely for the storyteller. Love it. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly. Are you ready?
Yes.
Kelly. Where did I get Kelly from?
Kelly, I don't know.
I guess KL. Laurel, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No.
Are you married?
I am.
Do you have children?
I do. 2 amazing sons.
Do you believe in God?
If you mean the bearded, enthroned old white fellow, then no. If you mean some entity far grander than our puny brains could ever imagine, then yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Never during the week, and only on weekends if we're binge watching a new series like The Last Kingdom or Game of Thrones
or
Ozark. Yeah. So good.
Those things are wrong. They should be banned.
I know. But they're worth binge watching.
They're definitely worth binge watching. Do not look at it. Do not start.
They know just how to end each episode on a cliffhanger. That's what I try to do in my writing.
Yes, they definitely teach. I actually looked at research like who are the writers, because I have all this podcast conversations that I need to do, but yet I'm in the middle of the night looking at these things.
When do you sleep?
Exactly.
Do you sleep?
Do I sleep? I do sleep sometimes. Well, my friend, tell me something else though. What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is that more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, well, way less than 8. I turned my screen off from 9 to 6 on my phone, and I deleted all games because they're addictive time wasters. I learned that. I do spend lots of screen time when I'm writing.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Laurel, let me take a go at this, McHargue.
You got it.
Thank you. What would you say that is?
I would say seek challenges, and both you and your life will never be boring.
I totally agree. Love it. Well said, my friend. Laura, this has been such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, be happy. Find that butterfly in your day, every day. And put yourself out there. When you start getting too comfortable, then maybe it's time to move. Maybe it's time to try something different.
Well,
keep your life exciting.
Laurel McHargue, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Angel, I had a blast. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to your visit in Leadville.
Boom!
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.